We're 2 videos in. I haven't been taken down yet. I've still got the microphone on the microphone stand. Everything seems to be all okay. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is probably my favourite ever Lego theme line collection. I don't know. It's called Lego Ideas. What it is, it's a website where people who like Lego and make their own Lego models put their models up onto this website, and then everyone votes for who they thinks is really, really cool, and then eventually, if it gets enough votes, like actual Lego people look at those models and go, can we make an actual Lego model out of that? And if it's good enough, they do. If they don't, then it just gets shoved over there, I guess. Just whoop. That's what happens. Whoop. And every year they have about 2 or 3 cut-off dates where the top designs that have 10,000 or more votes, they get to be seen by those Lego people. Then it takes about 7 or so months for them to decide whether or not it could be a model. And if it does become a model, then it takes years of development before it hits the shelf. Like, years. But with that, the Lego Ideas team have just had a cut-off date, meaning the top 26 who had 10,000 votes or over now get to go into that review stage, and Lego are looking at them going, is it good, is it not? And I have opinions on it. So here's my opinions. Some opinions are good, some opinions are... I do question some things that people think can be a Lego idea model. I shouldn't be laughing. But sometimes they are they are funny. Maybe I'll make a whole video on what I think should be a Lego Ideas model and what I think shouldn't be a Lego Ideas model sometime in the future. But today we're going to talk about that 26 that have got 10,000 or more votes. 10,000 or more people wanted these to be Lego models in stores. And, well, I'm just going to start at number 9 on this list of 26, which is the Indiana Jones trilogy mini build. And I just... Indiana Jones isn't a trilogy. Simple as that. It has 4 films. There's a 5th coming. That was the original intention for Indiana Jones. And people just need to get over that. The original motion picture deal was for 5 movies. Get over it. There's going to be more Indiana Jones. You're probably not going to like it. Can we please stop getting off track? And no, this is just, I just don't, it's just never going to be made. The same thing goes for number 3 on this list of 26, which is the Untitled Goose Game mini build. Mini builds aren't off the question for Lego Ideas. They aren't. There are some cool little micro builds, mini builds, and they're nice. But there's something too overly simplistic about the art design for the game, where the concept seems like it would be good for Lego. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work on this build. Like, it just feels like there's a lot missing when there isn't. But there is. There's one thing with Lego Ideas that always seems to work, and it's cars. Cars are a pretty good one to do. Lots of people like cars. They have a very good design and a very good on-shelf display kind of presence that people really, really like. There's actually 3 in this one. It's the Kit car, the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car, and also the Cybertruck. Now, out of these 3, there are maybe... Well, there's one I definitely want being made, but I think there's a possibility of 2 of them potentially being made, maybe? The one I definitely want being made is the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car. That just looks beautiful. Like, so beautiful. And it's also one of those iconic designed cars, and the way the person's like built it out Lego and designed it, it's one of those ones where you could give it to like a grandparent or somebody as a gift, and they would actually genuinely really appreciate it, even though you're giving them Lego, which is a child's toy. The kit car also seems like it could be made. I mean, they've worked on Knight Rider stuff before. It's not impossible. It's a very iconic look for a car. It's a very cool looking model too, but it's one of those ones where it's either going to be a yes or a no straight away, like first look, yes, no. And then the Cybertruck seems like something Elon Musk would really, really get behind, but I'm just not sure if it has enough of a following, Tesla and the Cybertruck, for it to be actually made. Like, the most iconic thing about the Cybertruck is from the launch, when Elon Musk threw that metal ball at the window and the window broke, and it wasn't supposed to break.
Franz, could you try to break this glass, please? Yeah. Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
That was just awkward. Maybe the design should have a broken window. Maybe it can come with an extra window piece that has a crack in it. Maybe that would, I'd buy that. Space is another one of those themes that works really, really well with Lego ideas, and there's also quite a lot of space things on there. We have the number 25 on the list of 26 is the Blue Origin New Glenn rocket launch tower and Blue Moon lander. It's a 1:110 scale set. It looks really, really, really cool. It will be another one of those really tall rockets, but we've just had a big rocket. I don't think Lego Ideas would put out another big rocket within maybe another like 4 or so years minimum. It would have to be like another massive anniversary iconic rocket. I like space stuff, but I don't recognize the New Glenn rocket. I'm probably gonna get a load of shit from that now, but I just don't. It's not taught a lot over here in England. Like, that's a super American thing. There's also a minifig scale Project Gemini, which, again, it's really cool. It's a really nice micro build. It's one of those ones where it could be for like 20 quid, something like that. Not too expensive. Sits on your shelf. Kind of go, oh, that's a nice little trinket. So, I don't know. I don't think that one will be made. And then also the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, which is, they've put in brackets here on it, the Saturn V scale. So they've essentially just taken an already existing Lego rocket and then they've just made it look more penisy so it looks more like the SpaceX rocket. Let's all be honest, the SpaceX rocket looks like a wang. But it is really cool that it is the first like commercially available, reusable, proven test rocket out there. So maybe in like 15 years time, maybe, but not right now. We don't need giant penis rockets. We just don't. There's a really odd set on here as well, which I can't think how it fits into the idea of a Lego Ideas set. It's a snow groomer called the Prinoth Leitwolf. That, whilst it's an absolute badass Technic set, like that's a high-end Technic set. That's like easy £200-300. That's not a Lego Ideas set. It just isn't. That's a really fucking cool Technic set. That's not a Lego Ideas set. Another really odd one in here too, along with the massive Technic set that seems to be in it, is this historically accurate Rome. That's not a set you would have at home. That's a set that would be like a display piece in a museum. It's really cool. Like, you'd see it in a museum and be like, oh, that's sick, that's cool, I like how they built that out of Lego, and I like how it's accurate and everything still. But you don't have something like that at home. Also, that's massive. That's like, it's one of those sets you wouldn't be able to hold on camera. Like, if you were to, like, pick it up, you'd just be like, it's ridiculous. Now, the set on here that seems to have gotten the most of, like, attention around the world, I've definitely seen it a load on social media, is the Earth globe. It's like an antique looking globe made out of Lego. It looks like it spins. It's really pretty cool. I just don't know how that can, like I think I understand how it's built. It's just one of those things where I'm not sure it has, like, more market value than the 10,000 people that voted for it. I'm not sure if it would be something that Lego could put out there and it would sell enough where people are wanting to display it. I think, if anything, it probably has more value on the resale market than it does on the I want to buy it and build it market. Now, non-themed sets often do also make their way into Lego ideas, but there are some where you just kind of have to go, could it be, and they also all seem to be, like, massive. Like, there is a train station in here called Studgate, and it is an absolutely beautiful Lego build. It looks fabulous. I love that giant clear dome, see-through dome on the top, but that is a massive set. And the same kind of goes for Bricks and Blooms, which, again, is really cool, but that's a massive set. Bricks and Blooms also feels a lot more like it should be on, like, a Lego City range rather than a Lego Ideas range. There's also a ruined house, which, again, looks beautiful, and the build is really intricate. It kind of has a lot of wonks and cracks in it, which is really, really clever. I just don't know why someone would want a broken house as a Lego model. It just seems bizarre to me. It seems really, really bizarre. I personally wouldn't want it on my shelf. I don't think it would look good as a model on your shelf. It'll look like something that is, like, half built or built badly, even though it's not. There's also a really nice trawler boat that's part of the collection of the 26 that's being in review. It's just called the Great Fishing Boat, and it's a really, really cool build. It's just super niche as a market. Like, you'd either have to be from a seaside trawler town or really, really into boats, like industrial boats. It just seems something that would fit much better in a Lego City set than it would do in an Idea set. I could also be wrong. There is one non-themed set that's got me, like, on a question mark, and that's this. It's the Lego Working Waterfall. It's crazy. So what it is, it's a mountainside view, and they've built a mechanism on the inside that allows continuous moving of blue clear bricks, but in sort of like a jaggedy pattern, so it looks like it's a constantly rushing waterfall. I think it's really clever. I just don't know if it could be made. I don't know. There's also a nicely built bowling alley on this, but again, fits more in a Lego City range than it would do on, like, a Lego Ideas range. And also this nice castle in the forest. It's one of those sets where I think it would be better marketed, potentially, as a reimagining, an updated version of, like, old school classic sets. Like, we had the old brick yellow castle. If they did, like, the classics reimagined, then I think this one would fit quite nicely in that. It could also potentially work as a Lego Ideas set. I just don't know if people want to buy one that badly. I mean, 10,000 people voted for it, so, you know. Back on to themed sets, because there's always lots of themed sets with LEGO ideas. There are two that I would kill to have in my collection. The first one is the Futurama Planet Express building with a little Planet Express ship and minifigures, and it just looks, I want it. Oh man, so want it. I loved Futurama. Futurama is one of those classic cult TV cartoons where it just never got enough appreciation because it wasn't as good as The Simpsons, even though it was made by the same person. This is a great looking model. And then alongside of that, there is the Iron Giant 20th Anniversary Edition, and it's a beautiful brand new build of the Iron Giant. It looks sleek, it's movable, it's bendable, it comes with a minifig that you can place in the hand, and I want it sat on my mantelpiece with the minifig in its hand, and I just want to look at it and just go, oh, so sad. There's also this really, really nice looking updated Krusty the Krab Lego set in here. It looks like the cartoon. It's fabulous. It's so nicely made. It's smooth. It looks like the Krusty Krab from a distance. It's absolutely fabulous, and it just looks a lot better than the previous one, which just looked wow. I think wow is the word. Doesn't look like the Krusty Krab. This one looks like the Krusty Krab. This one doesn't look like. This one looks like the Krusty Krab. Now, there's also this Coraline Pink Palace Apartments set, which I don't know if Coraline has enough of a following to even warrant it a set. I mean, it's a pretty good movie. It's majoritively creepy, but this set is once again massive. You are looking at here at maybe £150 for a big pink Lego building. Okay, yes, with quite a few minifigures, but no one's going to look at that and go, "Oh, that's the house from Coraline. Isn't that the pink apartments from Coraline?" Like, can't picture somebody. Is that the Is that? Sorry, just so happened to notice your Lego collection. Is that the the pink? Is that the pink apartments from Coraline? No one's gonna do that. I just don't think it's got. Don't think it's got legs. Ooh, sun's gone in. It was a lovely sunny day until I said that. Whoops. Maybe Coraline's coming to get me. There's also a Sonic Mania set in here. It's the Green Hill Zone. It has a big, giant built Robotnik. And it has like a loop. And it has a couple of slopes and things like that. It's really good, like what we would kind of were wanting from in the idea of the Mario sets. We wanted a Mario minifig and we wanted the Mario world kind of built like that. I do think this one could sell quite a lot, and I think with the recent deal with Nintendo, they could easily get a Sega deal on the side of that now. I mean, that one is definitely a plausibility of whether or not it could be made. It's probably high up on that list. Now, there's 3 last themed sets on here, and they are interesting ones. One of them makes a lot of sense, and I can understand why a lot of people voted for this, and it's the first set on this list of 26. It's the Mary Poppins Cherry Tree Lane set. It's like 3 buildings and a road, and a Mary Poppins, and a chimney sweep, and an Oompa guy, one-man band, and it looks really nice. It just has a lot of the same problems I think a lot of people's ideas have, and that is, it's another really big set. Like, that is a lot of bricks. The same kind of goes for the Zelda Breath of the Wild set. They've built Hyrule Castle out of Lego, which it's cool, but do you remember the price of the Disney Castle? Can you imagine the price of the Hyrule Castle? You're looking at similar costs there. I mean, the Mary Poppins sets probably would be about 150 quid. Hyrule Castle, that is a £400 set minimum for another big Lego castle. Like, this is big. And then we go on to the final one, which is really, I just don't know. I mean, I get why it got a lot of votes. It's an iconic band. It's just not an iconic part of the band. The band is Queen, and they've made a Miracle Express set. And I mean, like, the last big music thing we had from Lego Ideas probably was the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. But when you think of the Beatles, one of the first images you think of is the iconic look and the song Yellow Submarine. It's very, very set there. The Miracle Express is definitely not what first comes to my brain when it comes to that. Like, the first thing that comes to my brain is Bohemian Rhapsody. You would have to pick maybe the most iconic scene from Bohemian Rhapsody to do as a Lego set, and that would probably be them in the diamond formation, but doing that as a set would be really weird looking, I think. So, I don't know. I just don't think Queen would ever license their IP like that. I mean, even though Queen is a universal property, like the overallness of Queen is it's part of the Universal catalogue, and there has recently been the deal with UMG, which I talked about in my last video, where things like this could happen, but I don't think it's going to be that kind of set. It just doesn't scream Queen to me at all. If I had to pick 3 sets though that I really, 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 really wanted, it would have to be the Futurama set, Iron Giant, and the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. All the others I wouldn't necessarily throw in the trash, but if that was the 2 options, then I would just, whoops, and then maybe pull them out for another anniversary thing like they did last year. I think for my second video on this channel, that was definitely a divisive enough video, don't you think? I don't know. You're all probably screaming at me, screaming at the screens, shaking your laptop screens, going, you're tell me what sets you'd like in the comments. I think that'd be really fun. I want to hear your opinions on why you like certain sets, why you don't want certain sets, whether you're not think a certain set could even actually be made into a Lego set. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. Hit the ring, hit the ring, ring the ding, ring a ding-a-ling, ring that bell. I'm never going to get used to saying that.